Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to make a quick video on how to set up 30-team roster control in MLB The Show for your franchise. I've made this video in the past. It was a lot longer. I'm going to streamline this thing and just get it out of the way real quickly. So follow along if you want to get what I think is the best way to play franchise, where you're able to control injuries for all the teams, lineups, transactions, as little or as much as you want to do. So let's get right into it. Start your franchise. Hopefully you're going to use our franchise fidelity to reality roster set. You don't have to, but it would be nice. Okay, so select all your teams, which you see select all down at the bottom. I'm on PS5. Should be easy, whatever console you're on. Advance. So this stuff is up to you. You're going to want to have computer roster control off, because if you turn it on, it'll limit what you're able to actually do in-game. It's up to you whether you want to force trades or not. You can make trades from any team as normal, and they will either accept or reject. So I'll go ahead and turn it on, just because I am in control of my own universe and I pretty much know what I want to do. So you advance. Don't worry about any of this stuff. You can change this in the settings later on. Advance. This is if you want to jump into your game later. You know how this thing works by now. I play the entire game, so you can just set up the parameters however you want, but I play the whole game, so I don't worry about that. And I always start at the regular season. Okay, so now you are in here. As you see, you can scroll to any team you want. We need to set up a few settings here and there to give our main team more control than the other teams. So go into settings, this button right here, user settings. So you're going to want to set up two different profiles. You see on the top where it says settings preset, you're going to want to set up a user profile and a computer profile. So I already have user here. When you come in, you will be able to grab something that says, I think, simulation competitive, and when you get that, it doesn't matter which one you choose. You're going to rename your preset to user. This is going to be the team that you are going to control. So you're going to want to do user, and then get out. You're going to make some changes, not a lot, mostly mode specific. So this is your team that you're controlling and playing games with and things like that. It's up to you what you want to do, but I have everything set to manual because this is my Cubs team. This is who I'm going to be. So, like I said, this is up to you how you want to do it. I don't even know what this stuff down here means. Oh, I guess this is the spot where you jump into the game or whatever. So yeah, everything is going to be manual for here. And then when you back out, and when you're done backing out, you're going to hit apply changes. And then go back in to your user settings. And I already have it set to preset, but you're going to make another set for computer. And go back into mode specific. And this is where you're going to set the stuff to auto. I have lineups set to manual because their lineups end up getting jacked pretty quickly. And plus, I like to set the opening day lineups when I start my franchise. I have another video that I posted a little while ago that I'll link in the description below that shows all opening day lineups and rotations. So if you want to spend a little bit of time setting all that up just to give yourself one more layer of authenticity and immersion for the real opening day and your franchise. So 40-man roster doesn't really matter all that much. It's mostly for Rule 5 draft purposes. Roster moves, this is just teams sending their players up and down, putting the guys on injured, putting guys on waivers, things like that. It depends on how immersive you want to get in your franchise. I don't have the time to do that for all teams, so I leave it on auto. Scouting, actually it's on manual right now, but I'm not going to scout and draft for other teams, so put that on auto. Injury management, I put on, what does it say? Oh, injured list. Whether you want to put them on or not, I guess you can leave it on auto. All right, you want to put that on manual. You don't want computer trading because their trades really suck. I guess it's up to you, but I manually trade for all the teams. Plus, if you see a team that's 30 games out of first place, they're going to sell off their guys. And I don't know if the computer really does a good job of that, so do that yourself. Everything else, contracts, free agency, you're not going to want to control all the teams in free agency. That's madness. That's too much. So, yeah. And the rest of this is just up to you, personal. So, once again, you're going to want to get out of that and apply your changes. Now, so see, you're able to go in and, make basic trades for any team you want. Go in, set lineups for any team you want to as well. Scroll to different teams. Do that for all of them. But there's one more thing you're going to want to do, and that is set it up where you can edit injuries. Especially since they don't allow you to do that like NBA 2K does. When we created our roster, we moved the guys into the minor leagues. That's the way to deal with players who are injured on the opening day. So go back into your slider, or into your settings, sorry. Go back to user settings. You're going to want to go back to your user. Go to gameplay. Scroll over to see where it says general. And then come down here to where it says injuries. And you're going to want to make sure that is on manual. So if that's on manual, which it already is, I already had it, get out of here. Always apply your changes. Now, you can add injuries to any player in the game. Go to the Major League Baseball logo right here. Go down to injured list. And you're on a team. Hit R, see where it says injured players, L1, R1. Again, this is PlayStation 5. Hit R1, boom, you can go over to any player, right? Okay, so I know without looking at my injured list that Garrett Cole has Tommy John. So click on there. Injury type, they don't have something that says Tommy John. I usually go to, give me a second here, torn labrum, and just bump those days all the way up. And confirm injury. Boom, now he's injured. Go back to the injured players, click on that, and you can move him to the injured list. So I am going to come out with a video right after this one. It's going to show all of the opening day injuries. If you want to go through and take the time to create those injuries, that's another good thing to do. So you have those roster spots open and things like that. And one other thing I like to do, since we know MLB in real life is a grind and players are getting injured all the time, a lot more than are actually injured in this game here. So I like to bring up a random team wheel generator thing and a random number generator. And I'll type in 1 through 30 and scroll to a random team and injure that guy. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but basically I do that every day for like 1 or 2 teams just to get those injuries up a little bit more. Especially, some little nagging injuries. And then I'll just pick a random injury off the pile. And that'll just give you, a lot more injured players and a lot more player movement, realistic player movement. So that's about it. Excuse me, sorry, I'm recording this live. The only thing you cannot do is import players. The draft picks, you can't import them in. But I think the trade-off is worth it. Doing 30-team roster control gives you a lot more freedom than the other way around. I wish it was easy like NBA 2K, which lets you do pretty much anything. But this is how they choose to do it. So that was just real quick on, oh gosh, I'm doing this live and I almost forgot the most important part. Go back to settings, user settings, and let me see where it is. Okay, hit square and go down to preset association. This is super important and I almost missed it. All right, so pick the team you're going to be and you're going to add user and everything else. Every team you're not playing games with and you're just doing those other things with, set it to your computer profile. That's very important. I almost forgot to do that. And okay, so I did that. Let me make sure that it's set up how I want it. There you go, user. Okay, and get out. And you should be good to go. I think this is the most fun way to play franchise. And yeah, so this was all one long take, so sorry about the stutters and things like that. I'm not a good public speaker, but I do the best I can. So I'm going to release an opening day injury video that you can follow along with and add all your injuries. And I also have previously released opening day rosters, lineups, and rotations. So do those 3 things and you should be good to go with a pretty good franchise. Okay, thanks for sticking through to the end, and I appreciate you guys as always. Talk to you later.